the world just witnessed something extraordinary. China's brand new wide-body jet, the C929, has officially taken flight, a move that could shake the foundations of global aviation, no longer a dream on paper. This aircraft marks a bold declaration. China is ready to stand toe-to-toe with Boeing and Airbus, and it's not backing down. But just how powerful is the C929? Why is the West watching it so closely? And could this aircraft truly rewrite the future of air travel? Let's dive in. Asterisk, after successfully launching the C919, China didn't stop to celebrate. It immediately set its sights higher on a new challenge, building a long-range, wide-body aircraft that could rival the best in the world. That dream became the C929, capable of carrying up to 280 passengers across 12,000 kilometers, a direct competitor to the Boeing 787 Dream and the Airbus A350. The project began in 2015. At a time when China's experience in building large aircraft was still limited. To close that gap, China's COMAC joined forces with Russia's United Aircraft Corporation, investing over $2 billion into what was then known as the CR929. China would fund the project. Russia would bring technical know-how. Together, they aimed to dominate the skies. For a while, everything looked promising, until 2021, when the Ukraine war broke out, the partnership fell apart. Russia redirected its engineers to defense projects, slowing everything to a crawl. And soon after, rumors began to spread that China wanted full access to Russia's engine technology. But Moscow refused. By 2022, Russia officially withdrew. And just like that, China was left alone with the massive challenge of building a wide-body aircraft, entirely on its own. But China proved them wrong. In February 2025, COMAC shocked the world. They announced that the C929, now entirely developed by China, had entered its flight testing phase, built to international standards and powered by independent Chinese technology. The C929 became a symbol of something far greater: China's determination to free itself from Western aerospace dominance. Western analysts called it a serious new threat to Boeing and Airbus, because this wasn't just about engineering, it was about power. So, what makes this aircraft so special? First, its range and capacity. The C929 can fly over 12,000 kilometers. That's from Beijing to New York, carrying nearly 300 passengers in a twin-aisle cabin. It's not just a bigger version of the C919. It's a whole new class of aircraft designed for long-haul international routes. Second, its advanced technology. The C929 is equipped with 10 core systems, from cutting-edge avionics to hydraulic and communication networks, all optimized for safety, efficiency, and comfort. It uses more than 50% carbon fiber composite materials and 15% titanium, making it lighter, stronger, and more fuel. In short, this aircraft is built for the modern era. Quieter, greener, and more economical. Step inside. And the difference is clear. A cabin width of 5.5 meters, wider than both the 787 and the A350, means more comfort for passengers on ultra-long routes. Smart lighting, adjustable seating, and intelligent cockpit systems create a smoother flight experience for both pilots and travelers. Even more impressive, out of 9 major avionics suppliers, 4 are Chinese, showing how rapidly China is mastering aerospace technology. But the true game changer lies beneath the wings, the CJ2000 engine. This is China's first homegrown large turbofan designed to eliminate dependence on Western power plants. It generates 35 tons of thrust, putting it in the same league as the engines on Boeing's Dreamliner. And it's quieter, more fuel, and fully domestically controlled. Test flights for the CJ2000 are set for 2029, and if successful, it will mark China's full independence in commercial aircraft manufacturing. The C929 isn't just an aircraft. It's a strategic move, part of a long-term vision to dominate the skies. With the C919 already in service and the C929 preparing for test flights, China is now working on even larger models, the C939 and the C949. The C949, in particular, is rumored to be a supersonic 2-deck aircraft, planned for release by 2049, exactly 100 years after the founding of the People's Republic of China. If these projects succeed, China won't just be competing in aviation, it could be leading it today. China is the world's second-largest economy, with one of the fastest-growing aviation markets on Earth. Over the next 2 decades, it's projected to need at least 9,000 new aircraft, including E-10Y, and Beijing doesn't want to keep paying Boeing and Airbus forever. That's why the C929 matters. It's more than a machine, it's a message. A message that China is done following and ready to fly on its own wings. Because if the C929 succeeds, it won't just reshape the skies, it will reshape the balance of power in the global aviation industry. China and Russia formed an ambitious partnership. The aircraft was to be developed under a new name, the CR929, symbolizing cooperation. Between two aerospace powers, China would handle the funding and manufacturing, while Russia contributed its expertise in aerodynamics, materials, and engine technology. A massive $2 billion investment was poured into the project. The plan was clear. The final assembly line would be located in China. Russia would supply some core technologies. The target markets would include China, Russia, and the broader Asian region. At first, everything seemed perfect. China had the industrial scale. Russia had the technical depth. Together, they appeared unstoppable. But then, everything changed. In 2021, the war in Ukraine erupted. As Western sanctions tightened, Russia's aerospace engineers were pulled into defense projects. Halting progress on the CR929, deadlines were missed. Designs were delayed. Meanwhile, tensions quietly grew behind the scenes. Reports suggested China wanted greater control over the project, particularly Russia's engine technology, but Moscow refused to hand it over. By 2022, the partnership collapsed. Russia withdrew completely, leaving China alone to face one of the most technically complex challenges in modern aviation. Many in the West believed the project was doomed. But China had other plans. Rather than abandon the project, COMAC doubled down. They rebranded it as the C929, cutting ties with Russia and pursuing full technological independence. At first, skepticism ran high. Could China really build a world-class wide-body aircraft on its own? The answer came on February 20, 2025, when COMAC officially announced that the C929 had entered flight testing. This was no small step. It meant China had designed, built, and prepared a next-generation aircraft that met international aviation standards, all using homegrown technology. For many analysts, that announcement changed everything. It was a clear signal. China was no longer a follower in aviation. It was now a serious global competitor. So what makes the C929 such a big deal? First, its technical specifications. This aircraft can fly 12,000 kilometers non-stop. With a cruising speed close to 980 kilometers per hour, it can carry up to 280 passengers comfortably in a twin-aisle layout, rivaling and in some ways surpassing the Boeing 787 and Airbus A350. The materials used are cutting-edge, 50% carbon fiber composites, 15% titanium, and advanced lightweight alloys throughout its structure. That's more than 4 times the carbon composite ratio of the earlier C919, a massive leap in engineering efficiency. The result? A lighter aircraft, lower fuel consumption, and a smaller carbon footprint. But the C929 isn't just efficient, it's smart. The C929 features 10 core systems, from avionics and communications to navigation, hydraulics, and flight control. Each system is designed for redundancy, ensuring maximum safety even under extreme conditions. Its cockpit is equipped with state-of-the-art avionics technology, multi-angle adjustable pilot seats, and a smart lighting system that adapts to flight phases. For passengers, the cabin width of 5.5 meters makes it wider than both the Boeing 787, 5.28 meters, and Airbus A350 5.34 meters, promising greater comfort and cabin flexibility on long-haul routes. Out of 9 major avionics suppliers, 4 are Chinese, a sign that China is rapidly mastering technologies once dominated by the West. And then comes the most ambitious part, the engine. The C929 is set to be powered by the CJ2000, a completely domestically developed Heathrow turbofan engine. It produces up to 35 tons of thrust. matching some of the world's most advanced engines, like the GEnx used on the Dreamliner. Its fan diameter, 3 meters, and height, 4.55 meters, make it one of the largest turbofans in the world. It's designed for improved fuel efficiency, lower noise, and better durability, all while being 100% Chinese-made. The CJ2000 will begin test flights in 2029, and if successful, it will give China complete independence in the most critical part of aircraft manufacturing propulsion. This means no more reliance on Western suppliers, like General Electric or Rolls-Royce. It means total control. Make no mistake, the C929 is more than a jet. It's a strategic tool, a piece in China's long-term plan to break Western monopolies in aviation. With the C919 already flying domestic routes and the C929 preparing for global ones, COMAC is slowly building an entire ecosystem of aircraft, from regional to intercontinental. And China's ambitions don't stop there. The company has already teased designs for 2 even larger aircraft, the C939 and the C949. Early leaks suggest the C949 could feature a 2-deck 3L design with supersonic speed capabilities, a bold plan aimed at 2049, the centenary of the People's Republic of China. The C929, a long-range wide-body aircraft entirely developed by China, has just reached an incredible milestone, ushering in a new era in the global aviation industry. No longer a project on paper, the C929 is a monumental leap forward, a powerful statement that China is ready to reshape the global landscape, directly competing with giants like Boeing and Airbus. So, how powerful is the C929? How have Airbus and Boeing reacted? Let's find out. But first, what kind of aircraft is the C929? Following the commercial entry of the C919, China immediately set its sights on a greater goal, developing a wide-body aircraft with fully independent technology. The C929 is a long-range wide-body aircraft with a capacity of 280 passengers and a range of up to 12,000 kilometers. This aircraft is designed to compete directly with the Boeing 750 and Airbus A350, 2 of the most prominent wide-body aircraft in the market today. The C929 project was launched in 2015, when China's capabilities and wide-body aircraft technology were still limited. To overcome this challenge, COMAC partnered with Russia's United Aircraft Corporation, UAC, jointly investing over $2 billion to develop a new aircraft under the name CR929, according to the initial agreement. China would bear the full development costs, while Russia would provide technical support. The final assembly line was to be based in China, with the primary market targeting China, Russia, and the broader Asian region. This collaboration was initially seen as an ideal partnership. China contributed its large-scale manufacturing expertise and supply chain management, while Russia provided its strengths in materials, aerodynamics, and engine technology. All plans seemed perfect, but the outbreak of the Ukraine war in 2021 pushed this collaboration into a deadlock. Many Russian aerospace engineers were reassigned to defense projects, causing delays in the development of the CR929, while Shanghai had completed most of the technical milestones assigned to it. Moscow failed to meet its commitments. There were also rumors that the collaboration ended because Shanghai wanted to own Russia's engine technology, but this country refused. In 2022, Russia announced its withdrawal from the project. After Russia's exit, China decided to rename the project C929 and continued its independent development. While Russia still supplies some components, most of the design and manufacturing are now handled by China. Many were skeptical about whether Shanghai could complete a wide-body aircraft of international standards without Russia's technical support, given the complexity of developing such an aircraft. However, China surprised many by announcing the latest progress on the C929, catching the attention of Western observers. On February 20, 2025, COMAC revealed that the C929, a wide-body long-range aircraft entirely developed by China, officially entered its flight testing phase. Notably, it is designed to international standards and holds independent intellectual property rights, marking a significant leap in this country's ability to manufacture commercial aircraft. After revealing plans to move this wide-body aircraft into its flight test phase, Many Western media outlets stated that Boeing and Airbus are now facing a new powerful competitor backed by an industrial superpower. This is not just a technical advancement. Behind this aircraft lies this country's grand ambition to become a major player in the civil aviation industry on par with the US and Europe. So how powerful is the C929 really? What makes the West particularly interested in it? And does this aircraft have the potential to shake the dominance of Boeing and Airbus? Initially, many were skeptical, thinking that the C929 was just a larger version of the C919, a narrow-body aircraft for domestic routes. However, when the technical specifications were released, experts quickly revised their opinions. The aircraft can carry up to 280 passengers and has a range of 12,000 kilometers, 3 times the range of the C919 and nearly double the seating capacity, while the C919 is a narrow-body aircraft with a single aisle. This jet is a wide-body twin-aisle aircraft designed for ultra-long-haul international routes like Beijing, New York, or Shanghai, London. This Chinese wide-body jet is ambitious. It aims to directly compete with the Boeing 787 and Airbus A350. In fact, in some aspects, the C929 shows impressive advantages. So, how does it outperform the aircraft from these two major manufacturers? Firstly, this aircraft is equipped with 10 core systems, including avionics, communication, navigation systems, primary and secondary hydraulic systems, and advanced wings. These technologies not only enhance performance and safety, but also help optimize passenger experience and operational costs. Secondly, the use of advanced materials is another key highlight. The C929 incorporates 15% titanium alloy, on par with the Boeing 787, and more than 50% carbon fiber composite materials, which is more than 4 times the 12% ratio of the C919. This combination not only reduces weight and boosts flight performance, but also makes the C929 one of the most environmentally friendly commercial aircraft, aligning with the global trend toward eco-friendly aviation. Additionally, based on the internationally certified technical foundation of the C919 project, the C929 is manufactured with extremely high precision, featuring over 2.2 million components and 3,500 completed test sets. The aircraft is also equipped with a real-time monitoring system, allowing for a comprehensive tracking of its status throughout the flight, something many current aircraft models have yet to integrate. Thirdly, this aircraft cockpit incorporates advanced avionics technology combined with multi-angle adjustable seating, smart lighting, and a flexible cabin space design. Among the 9 suppliers of avionics systems, 4 are from China, indicating the country's growing mastery of aviation technology. Notably, Shanghai Aircraft Corporation plays a key technical role in the project. Notably, the C929 boasts a wingspan of nearly 65 meters, surpassing even the Boeing 787, requiring an incredibly high level of aerodynamic design and material durability. The cabin space is also a standout feature with a width of 5.5 meters. This wide-body jet exceeds both the Boeing 787, 5.28 meters, and the Airbus A350 5.34 meters. This promises a more comfortable experience for passengers, especially on long intercontinental flights. Finally, alongside its performance and technology, competitive pricing is the weapon that Comarmac holds to pressure Boeing and Airbus, with a tradition of delivering quality products at optimal costs. China is gradually shaping a calculated strategy to invade the global market, and this aircraft serves as a strategic trump card in this new phase of the aviation industry. But that's not all. The C929 is entirely developed by China. Previously, the West had put pressure on this country's aviation industry by restricting the supply of components for the C919, an aircraft that achieved about 60% domestic production and still relied on engines produced through a collaboration between the US and France. However, with the wide-body jet, Shanghai has fully taken control of all core technologies, from the aircraft's frame design to its engines. The most significant breakthrough for the C929 is the use of the domestically produced CJ2000 engine. Initially, the CJ2000 was designed for the C919, but due to concerns over stability and the certification process, Comarmac had not immediately implemented it. Instead, this aircraft will serve as the ideal platform for testing. This engine, with test flights scheduled for 2029, if successful. This will be a major step forward for China, allowing it to fully break free from its reliance on Western technology and commercial aviation. The CJ2000 not only allows the C929 to gain full control over its propulsion system, but it also boasts impressive technical specifications. The engine delivers a thrust of up to 35 tons, comparable to the most advanced engines currently in use. Its fuel efficiency has been significantly improved, reducing operating costs while providing a quieter experience, enhancing passenger comfort. With a fan diameter of 3 meters and a total height of 4.55 meters, the CJ2000 is even larger than the 33-ton GNX engine used in the Boeing 787. Besides, the fuel consumption of the CJ2000 during cruise is lower than many international competitors, making the C929 one of the most cost-effective and high-performance aircraft on the market. Furthermore, it can reach a speed of 980 km, operating with exceptional smoothness and significantly reduced noise, providing a clear competitive advantage when compared to the Boeing, Dreamliner, and Airbus A350. Thanks to these advanced technologies, the Chinese aircraft is not just a new aircraft model, but a strategic leap, marking China's ambition on the global aviation stage. From all the reasons above, it comes as no surprise that some Western media outlets have described the C929 as a direct competitor to the Boeing 787 and Airbus A350, with a high level of domestic production and numerous technological improvements. This aircraft has the potential to reshape the global aviation industry, making it impossible for the West to ignore. China's aviation industry is rising rapidly, steadily asserting its position on the global aviation map. Recently, the regional aircraft ARJ-21 was officially renamed the C929, marking the growth of the domestic civil aviation ecosystem. If the C929 enters commercial service successfully, China will complete its own civil aviation landscape, no longer relying on the West. However, China's ambitions do not stop there. After the C929, the country could go even further with larger aircraft such as the C939 and C949, potentially challenging giant aircraft like the Boeing 77X and Airbus A380. Recently,